This is Leo Burst, and today we're going to look at the amazing Yamaguchi Captain America. This is powered by Revoltech figure complex, and it's the 7th figure in the line. We've had Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen, Deadpool, Wolverine, Venom, and Magneto. This is the 7th guy in the line, and I've been super excited about this. I mean, it was released yesterday, and I just got it today. It's really, really awesome. And he comes with these optional parts. He comes with one optional face and this different head without the cap. And he's got 5 different hands, the shield of course, and the parts that he uses to hold the shield and throwing the shield, and also the effect pieces. And yeah, man. And when you open the box, you have the figure's not in there, of course, but you do have this backdrop thing. Looks like this poster. It looks really, really nice with the comic book art. That looks really cool. So let's take a look at the figure. He looks really, really nice. I mean, the details on his armor, you can see like the scale things. It looks really nice. The paintwork is really good. Just a small bit of blotching there. And around here, you can see a little bit of red going into the white, but it's not a huge deal. The rest of the paint looks really nice. His shield looks great. It's got a nice shine to it. There are a couple issues with the figure, but they're not really, I mean, one of them is kind of big, but they're not exactly figure breaking problems, because there are ways around it. But anyway, one of those problems is this arm is like really, really wobbly. You can see right there, it doesn't really want to stay in place like that. Yeah, that's I don't know, that could be a quality control issue, or could be just my figure, or it could be all of them. But there are ways around that. I mean, with posing, you can kind of, if you make sure this piece that's popping out is touching the other piece of the arm, then it won't move when you're posing it. Or if you bend his arm like that, it's not going to move. And another issue is this stomach part right here is, it's not connected to anything, you know, like all the other figures. But for this one, when you put him straight, it likes to pop down a little bit. But that's also fixable with these belt pieces. You can kind of tighten the belt around his waist, and it won't move. And speaking about the belt, it looks like this. It's not a floating piece. There's the middle part of the belt is stuck on there, and the sides of the belt are kind of pegged onto his back right there. So you can move it around how you like. I like to keep it tight, you know, to keep his stomach from wobbling around. And let's see, what else is there? The shoulder pads are on a peg, on a ball peg on the shoulder. Kind of standard with all the other figures. And his arm moves out that much. He's got, I think, a double ball peg here. This one likes to pop out a little bit, but that is an issue with Revoltech in general. And you've got I don't know what you call this, the shoulder blades kind of move out. You can move them out and in, which gives you a lot of range when you're posing. And he can crunch a lot, like that much. Really nice. He can arch his back a bit, like that. Looks pretty good. The shield is also on this double ball peg thing, Revoltech joint. You just see it pops out like that, and you can fold it in on his back like that. His legs are very, very similar to Wolverine. If you have that Wolverine, you know what to expect. His legs can go out like that, do the splits. We've got a swivel at the thigh. Legs can bend about that much, pretty much all the way, which is awesome. And you've got a swivel at the boot and ankle articulation. You got a Revoltech joint there. And toe articulation. Basically, this figure is super articulated. He goes into any pose you can think of. Just got this wobbly issue, which, yeah, it's a shame. But again, there are ways around it. So when you're posing it, it's not a big problem when you're taking pictures and stuff. Just when you're handling it, it'll wobble around, but it's not a huge problem. Let's take a look at the shield. You can pop it off from the joint right there. This is Captain's back, by the way. Got the Marvel sign there. He looks really nice all around. There's like all these little details. You can see his clothes are scrunching up right there. It looks really cool. But anyway, let's get back to the shield. So when you put this on his arm, you've got these pieces here. Let me just pour the pieces out right here. You've got 3 pieces to hold the shield. You got these 2 pegs and the strap. This strap is also another small issue for me because it's hard plastic and it feels brittle to the touch. So I could imagine this will probably snap off one day if I'm not careful. They could have used rubber, which would have been a lot better, but they went with hard plastic. But anyway, you just stick this on the back, and the smaller pegs, they go on his hand. He just grabs onto them here, and you gotta make sure these 2 pegs are different sizes, so you gotta make sure which one is on top. I put it the wrong way. The smaller peg should be on top, and it goes on his hand like that. And right out of the box, it was kind of hard to put these pegs in, so you just have to run it, put some hot water on it, not boiling hot water, but just warm water. Run it under some warm water and it'll go in really easily. So you put these on the shield like that. Make sure you position his hand, and then his arm will just slide in there. All in all, the process is pretty easy. And, wait, I get it. Kind of hard to do it on camera, but it's pretty easy. There we go. And he's got a firm grip on his shield, which looks great. Look at that. Such an awesome shield. And Revoltech, they have these ball joints, but it's very easy to hide them. You know, you can't see the ankle ones very much. His arm, once you have it out like that, you can see it, but if you just twist it around like that, you can hide it. And these shoulder pads do a great job of hiding these joints. So yeah, all in all, I would say this is a must-buy figure if you're a Captain America fan, because in my opinion, this is probably the best Captain America figure out there. He just looks awesome, and the posing options you've got are crazy. I mean, it's a great figure. Let's just take a look at his face sculpt a little bit more. I'm gonna pop off his head to make it easier. You can see his face looks pretty good, and his eyes are articulated, so you can use the little piece right here to position his eyes, make him look to the left or right. And you take it out like that, and you can swap it with his angry face, which also looks pretty good. They look better than the photos that we got in the beginning. I've got a little paint right there. Looks like an eyelash. but once you put on the mask, you don't really notice it. There we go. Looks pretty nice. And the better head sculpt is actually his unmasked head. It looks really, really nice. These don't have articulated eyes. And when you put it on Captain America, for some reason mine doesn't really want to stick in that perfectly. It looks nice, but it'll come off pretty easily. And once you put on his head, he can't really look up anymore. Looks down about that much. Looks to the left, to the right. Looks pretty good. But yeah, when you're posing it, man, he looks awesome. So yeah, anyway, this was a pretty long video. The other parts that it comes with, he comes with a trigger finger hand, a pointing hand, these open palm hands. These come with a peg hole right here. You connect that to this piece right here, and you can make it look like he's throwing his shield, which is nice. He's got this saluting hand, and he also comes with a nice Revoltech stand. Pretty standard with Revoltech figures. And you've got the clamp as well. So that's pretty much it. He also comes with these 2 extra shoulder pegs, which is nice because they do have a tendency to get loose or eventually break. But you've got 2 extras, so that's awesome. Anyway, let's look at some pictures for some size comparison and also some action shots. So stay tuned. So there we have it. That is the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Captain America, and I gotta say I'm really impressed. He's a great figure, tons of articulation, and he just looks awesome. And yeah, there are people that, you know, they don't like the Revoltech ball joints, but I think this time around they do a really good job of hiding all of them. You can't, I mean, look, you can't see any of them. It looks almost like a statue. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more cool Japanese stuff.